Check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Eric Kelly, do you hear me? Excellent, thank you. Hey, Eric, can you talk so we can make sure we hear you? Unmute yourself.
Yeah,
There we go.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? And then whenever you get a chance, recording permission. Thank you.
Hopefully I'm not bald.
All right, y'all.
Yes.
All right, everyone. We got Vivian Gray and Lexi Gordon here. We'll open it up for questions for them.
Yeah, I guess for both of y'all, it doesn't matter who goes first, but what was that message when you guys went down 16 early in that first quarter?
Just keep fighting, keep pushing, keep following the game plan, do it for each other, honestly.
Yeah, I was just stick to the plan. You know, teams go on runs, so we knew ours was coming up next. So we just had to stick to the plan and, you know, keep playing hard and fighting for each other.
For both of y'all are pretty experienced in just Big 12 play and college basketball as a whole. How easy or difficult it is to kind of keep in your mind to chip away and not – you're not going to get any 20-point plays anytime soon, but to kind of chip away at those leads and know that it might take some time, but eventually it'll pay off.
Well, coach told us, you know, just take it play by play. So that's kind of what we did. We knew that we could score, but we also knew that we needed to defend. So we had to make a stop, we had to get a stop on defense and then go back and convert on offense.
Our goal was to not have 2 consecutive negative possessions. Because, you know, if you have 2 positives, you eventually chip away. But if you have negatives, then you take a step backwards.
Yeah.
Lexi, I guess from your perspective, I know everyone's going to talk about the comeback that y'all made, but what happened in that first half that allowed y'all to get down by 16?
We let Lauren honestly do whatever she wanted. So we knew that at halftime we needed to adjust and we needed to, you know, find her and make sure that her shots were tougher. So that's exactly what we did.
And I guess obviously the the elephant in the room. Obviously, you guys lost a talented player middle of the week. I guess how difficult was it for you all to kind of adjust just early on? Because it seemed like the offense was kind of a little bit off kilter. And did you feel like everything kind of turned around in that second half when you guys felt a little bit more confident and comfortable with those runs that you were talking about?
It was tough, but we know that we have to work with what we got, and we need to trust each other and know that each one of us can do what we need to do in order to win. Yeah, we just knew that we needed to bond together, and just come out with a win.
Along those lines, I guess, what did you feel you did in that second half? I know you were scoring 13 points of your 22 today, but I guess what were you doing that allowed you to get to the basket or just kind of really find your way and help kind of be that catalyst for the team?
Well, I knew my three wasn't falling, so I knew I needed to get to the basket. I knew they were going to play me for my three, so I knew I would have a step on them if they came out to me. So it was kind of just me knowing that the lanes were open, and then I knew that they weren't really going to help off Viv, so I was going to be able to get right to the basket.
Last one from me, because I know other people have questions. Vivian, just that last, I guess, minute and a half, I guess, how difficult was that just to kind of obviously fend them off? And I guess for you to kind of make those two defensive plays and then kind of knock down those free throws, how clutch was that for you? And just how much of a confidence booster is that for this team just overall to know that you can overcome something like this?
Well, I think that it's veterans knowing how to finish games, honestly. We had a couple young players out there, but veterans leading the team is really important. We know how to close. We know how to finish. I was just in the right spot for the two blocks at the end. I was just there. And free throws, something that we work on a lot, something I take pride in. I want to be able to close it out for the team. Thanks.
What did this win mean for you guys, obviously, to be able to come back from that 16 points and then, obviously it was a close fourth quarter, but to be able to come out on that winning end, what did you guys learn about this team?
Well, I think we were really disappointed in our game against Baylor. So we wanted to come out and show people that we do know how to fight, even though it looked like we didn't. So we came out and fought, and we knew that we had the opportunity to win this game, and that's exactly what we did. We needed to win. We needed to get a momentum changer. So now we have it going into one more game and then the Christmas break.
Kind of to piggyback.
You know you're going to get some points from your starters, but how big was the bench production, especially Najee off the bench with 9?
Naj was great. Naj is a shooter. She hasn't hit in her first couple games, but tonight she was on, and she really, really helped us.
Yeah, she's our energy. She's our energy bunny. So she came in and she did exactly what we knew she can do.
Sort of to piggyback off of Carlos' question earlier, obviously coming into this game with, one player leaving the team, what was sort of the mindset coming into this one? Obviously, you guys could have, just dwelled on that, losing that player, but to come out here and battle the way you guys did, what was the mindset coming into this game?
We couldn't dwell.
Yeah.
You can't dwell. You have to move on. You have to keep working, work with what you have, work with your team, keep pushing. And we just fought today, and that was what got us the win.
That's what we came in. We wanted to fight regardless of the circumstances, and that's exactly what we did.
What did you guys learn just from the first, 2 conference games? Obviously, you had, the highs and the lows of this game, and then obviously that game against Baylor, just going through what's going to be the gauntlet of the Big 12. What did you guys learn so far from these first couple games?
Well, there's definitely highs and lows. We have to roll. We have to roll with what we got, and we know that we can win, and we know that we can fight hard, and we know that we can battle. So I feel like, regardless of the score, regardless of who we're playing it against, we know that no matter what, we're gonna fight for each other.
Vivian, I'm curious for you. Having 1 point a couple games ago, obviously something you're not used to, in a situation where you kind of have to mentally rebound from something that doesn't happen to you a lot, where do you or how difficult was it for you, or was it kind of easy to kind of get back into that scoring mindset?
It was not easy. I am very tough on myself, so that 1 point game was horrible. Obviously, it was horrible. But really, it was kind of figuring out how to work with the team better in practice. Coming into a new school, not playing with any of these girls before, we just had to get our chemistry down a little bit better, and that really helped me.
All right, anything else? All right, we'll open it up for questions for Coach Groh.
Coach, I guess just the most obvious one. What was that message when you guys went down 16 early in the first quarter?
Well, to be quite honest, I mean, I knew that the first game even, but the first quarter was definitely going to be tough for us to get in a rhythm and just kind of figure out, how it was going to work with some kids having to step up and play some different positions and things like that. And I expected us to be a little bit, struggle a little bit, but I kept talking to him. We stayed really positive with him. We talked to him about moving the ball and trusting each other in the offense. We were just kind of standing and watching each other and wanting one person to do it. And that's just not how we're going to be successful. We've got to move and help each other and move the ball and get some rotations going so that we can get some easier shots. It's just really tough for us to create for ourselves. So we just kept telling them to defend. We kept telling them to push the basketball in transition and try to run some of our secondary breaks and to just move the ball a little bit more and to trust each other a little bit more. And I thought they did.
Coach, along those lines of what Eric was asking, I guess, can you just speak to the resilience of this team? Because when you get down 16-0, obviously with the elephant in the room, losing your starting point guard middle of the week, I guess just what did they kind of show you today that kind of gives you some future promise, so to speak?
I'm so proud of them, first of all. Let me just say that. But secondly, I knew they had it in them. I've known they've had it in them, and that's what we've been trying to pull out of them. Even in our previous 4 games, I didn't feel like we were really unified and that I didn't feel like we were really trying to play together as much as we're going to have to play together and that I think we're capable of. And I just think that, they showed so much fight. And that's what we talked about. It was like, just fight, like just have fun and embrace the competition, embrace the chess match, if you will, and just continue to fight for one another. And I am so proud of them. I thought they did a fantastic job of having each other's backs and not getting down on each other, and not getting down on themselves when something wasn't going well for them.
I guess in that fourth quarter, you guys were changing defense at box and one, had some man. I guess what did you like about your defense down the stretch to where they did make that run at the end, but you guys were able to fend them off there?
Yeah, I liked that our kids stuck to it. They didn't bail, they didn't panic, they didn't start doing their own thing, and they just stayed with what we were doing, and they rebounded the basketball. That's probably the most important thing is when we did get them to miss, they rebounded the basketball well. But I'm really proud of their focus and their intensity. We've been working on that so much, and I really want them to become a great defensive basketball team, and I think they took some really big steps today.
Coach, how big was the 18 points off the bench in general for a place where you guys have kind of struggled a little bit to get production?
Yeah, I thought that our kids came in with great focus. I thought they understood their roles and they really performed them. I mean, Naj came in and was really big on the 3-point line for us, and we need her to do that. And I've been talking to her about that. Like, when you get open looks, you've got to knock them down, particularly when they're denying so hard with Lexi and Vivian. We've got to have some role players step up and do what they do well. And Naj shoots the 3-ball really, really well. I thought Maka in the second half really gave us a lift with some energy and some electricity getting to the basket and just scoring when they had a defensive breakdown. I think we found Maka twice and Tuck twice late in the game when they had a defensive breakdown, and we haven't been doing that lately. So I was glad to see that we made them pay when they did make a mistake.
You talked about how you were talking to Najee, even more so with a 3-point shooter. How big is the mental part of the game for her and just needing to see shots going consistently?
Yeah, I think that's true for all of them. I mean, they're all scorers, and it's tough when you haven't seen the ball go in the basket and they get in their head. And we've really talked to them about shooting the next shot, watching the next one go in, and being confident in that, and they just can't get down. And I thought that she did a great job of understanding that, and I thought her mindset was great on defense for us today too. She really gave us a spark there and did what we asked her to do and did it well.
Through your first 2 games of conference play, what have you sort of learned about your team? Obviously, some very different games between Baylor and this one, but what did you learn so far in your first 2 contests in Big 12?
Well, obviously Baylor, I wasn't happy at all with our performance, with our effort. Just it just is not who we're going to be about. It's not what we're going to be about. And so I'm super proud of the bounce back that we had. I'm super proud of the unity that we showed. And I just love the fact that that they did show fight. They did show grit. They did show togetherness. And that's what we're going to have to be about. We have 2 really prolific scorers on our team, but we have some really good players on our team as well to go with them. And I think it's just a matter of them continuing to trust each other and finding that right combination of, when to get it to our clutch players, our prolific scorers, and when role players have to step up and make a big shot. And then just having patience and execution. I mean, I'm really talking to them about who's the one that's setting the screen for them to get open? Who's the one that's making the pass to lead them to the shot? Who's the one that's getting the defensive rebound that puts us in transition? And I think that they're really figuring that part out.
What was sort of your message to the team coming in to today's game after obviously losing Crystal?
To play with a chip on their shoulder. I wanted them to play with a chip on their shoulder. They had that they are at Texas Tech for a reason. They want to play hard and together, and they have a lot to prove. And never have we been about one player, and nor will we ever be. And I thought that they responded really well, and they came together. I mean, that's adversity. You're going to have adversity, and I thought they responded really well.
Obviously, Vivian gets a lot of shine for what she can do in terms of scoring the ball. But what is it that impresses you about her ability to maybe another day where she's not shooting the ball particularly well, but she leads the team in rebounds, leads the team in assists, and then has a couple big defensive plays down the street?
Well, she's the complete package. I mean, I've known that, since she was in high school. She does everything. And she doesn't get all that credit because she is such a prolific scorer that she doesn't get the credit, but what she does on the defensive end. She's a terrific passer. And that's what has made her game elevate, I think, in situations like this where people can really key on her, is that she finds the open man. And I thought she did a great job of that today. She doesn't get bogged down. She did not get bogged down today about maybe not getting as many shots or getting loose. She stayed focused and kept fighting and found a way to help us. I mean, I don't remember what it was at halftime, but she hadn't scored very many points, right? Well, she ends with a double-double and 2 huge blocks on the other end. I mean, and we're asking her to guard some big kids. We're asking her to guard some guards. We're asking her to do it all, and she takes a lot of pride in being a complete player.
Anything else for Coach?
What sort of went into your decision for your starting lineup today? And do you imagine that being, sort of the rest of the way, or was that sort of a matchup decision?
We're trying to put the group on the floor that executes well, that defends well. I think that sometimes it helps us to put Vivian on the perimeter instead of in the post. And just obviously just giving us some size. I've got to get those freshman post players some minutes. And I thought that Kyla did a good job. I mean, that's a Big 12 game that she just played against the Baylor, a couple of days ago, and some of the biggest in the conference, and then a really good player in Yummy Morris as well. So she had to come in and try to set the tone for us. I mean, obviously Tuck got in a little foul trouble, and that's what's going to happen when she's defending a 5 player, because she is she's undersized, obviously, but does a really good job with it. So it's just a matter of us trying to use our bench a little bit more, and then also bring in some great energy off the bench to give us a pickup when we need it.
Coach, broadcast mentioned you had an assistant coach out. I guess did that change anything in terms of how you all kind of game planned, or I guess how difficult was that, and do you expect him back, I guess, by Monday?
Yeah, it's been actually pretty difficult. I mean, last week when we went to Baylor, we had one out, and then we had a different one out this week. So it's been really difficult, but we've done a lot of things on Zoom. We've done a lot of phone calls, a lot of we've Zoom them in even for film so that everybody has input. But yeah, it's actually been quite incredible, all of the things that we have been having to deal with over the past 3 or 4 months, let alone the past 3 or 4 days. But I thought that our kids have responded well, and I think that my staff is so good, and they do their job, and they want to be a part of it, and we just want everybody to be well and safe.
Last one for me. I noticed Khadija Faye, I guess, was on the bench. What are you expecting from her? And I know you mentioned getting minutes for your freshman post. I guess what can she bring after kind of playing internationally?
Yeah, she can bring a lot of things. She can bring some shot blocking ability. She can bring some speed. She can really run the floor. She can rebound the basketball for us. I didn't want to put her in a situation today because she just hasn't had enough practice with us, just trying to remember everything that we're working on. But we definitely have got to get her minutes, and she's definitely going to be a great addition.
Real quick for you, Coach. Is this in terms of having kind of a depleted bench a little bit and only going 3 deep on the bench in a lot of these games? Is that something that you've had to deal with before? And where do you think how do you think your kids are dealing with it in terms of maybe I guess just dealing with it in terms of their stamina and things of that nature?
Yeah, I mean, yes, I've had to deal with that before, and it's difficult, especially when I think that we play better if we'll play at a faster pace. But sometimes we just can't do that, because of our legs. I really thought we looked winded in the first half. And I was very concerned about, man, as we're battling back, can we sustain this? But we told our girls at halftime to suck it up and to, and to refuel, and they got to fight. At some point you have to catch your second wind and just get lost in the moment of competition. And it's amazing what adrenaline can do for you. And if you're a competitor, you don't get tired. And so I think that our kids really responded well and did that really well today. I would like to get our more of our bench involved, and we only had really 9 available today. And so that's going to be important for us moving forward. And just trying to get them a couple of breaks here or there. If we can just keep their legs a little bit fresh for deep runs in the second half, that will help us. So it's a work in progress. And the fact too that, they didn't go through a summer, they didn't go through a spring really. And then we've had kids out quarantined here and there. Like, it's been really difficult to try to get them in game shape. But I thought today you saw some guts, some mental toughness, and just some competitiveness going on today.
Anything else? All right. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you guys so much. Appreciate y'all.